3, 2, 1. Welcome back to the Click to Close podcast. My name is Travis Halverson, and today I am joined by a special guest, the one and only
Nikki Pais.
Nikki Pais, also known as Nikki Paid in my phone. Everybody always wonders why I never change it. Sorry, I don't know.
It's fine.
Money. Whenever I think about you, I think of money. So, which is a good thing because she's also here to help you guys make money as well, which is also amazing,
Cha-ching.
right? So she might be Nikki Paid for you. Nikki, tell me what you do for us at Digital Maverick and Easy Home Search.
Great question, Jeff. So I work with teams across the country just focused on when they receive the lead, what are any gaps that prevent them from getting to the closing table and making sure that we minimize those as much as possible. So we start with role playing and making sure when we have the conversations that it's the right things to say, asking the right sorts of questions, and then we extend to inspecting what we expect. So we audit, we send out reports on a regular basis, and then we institute best practices and have SOPs like you cannot imagine.
Nice. So it's safe to say that you are running a pretty tight ship with DCM and the VAs that work for DCM?
True. Yes. Also with the VAs. Yes.
Amazing. So that's great. So, and it's something that you really focus on. I mean, you spoke at Dallas. Yeah, you spoke at Maverick Dallas and you were on stage. What did you do on stage again?
So we did a live audit of a call. And the call was approximately 3 or 4 minutes, and we walked through what could potentially be improved. The funny thing is that the audience as a whole was blown away at the gaps, but that's a top producer who is closing, I want to say, more than 40 million each year.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it was a top producer for sure. And it's someone that, I mean, if that person has gaps, I mean, what are the other average agents on your team doing, right?
Exactly.
It's really eye-opening to see. But Nikki, you do so well with that. I mean, we have to tell you that you do great at that. And you do your role plays every Friday. And I think we had like 150, 160 people last week.
Yeah. That was
which was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome. What are some things that people can expect if they show up to those role plays?
I do the same format every single week. You have one person volunteer as agent, one person volunteer as client. And that's something you could do on a local level as well to institute, this is what we expect and this is how it should go. But we have a focus every single time. So we're perfecting an introduction and we're always objection handling. Every client needs to have a minimum of 2 objections because we know what to do when the lead is perfect. What do we do when the unexpected occurs? And so depending on the market, we have different objections that we're facing and we walk through those. The nice thing is it's really a collaborative effort. You have agents, CEOs, ISAs, all in the same meeting saying, these are what we do to handle that situation, and then that ends up with really good results.
Good. Yeah, no, I mean, it's safe to say that like everybody really looks forward to Fridays. How many teams do you think you meet with on average during a week?
Probably like 30 to 40.
Nice. I mean, we always want to meet with more, which is great, and something that you actively reach out to teams and try and get them to meet with you. For the teams that haven't met with you or teams that should be meeting with you, what do you want to say to them?
Dear DCM, you are not utilizing all that we offer. I think that there is a little bit of a misconception that some of the CEOs who bring us on think we exclusively do their lead generation, but we exclusively do conversion. We cover all things that have to do with getting the lead from the beginning into the point where they are closed and they're your client. So if we can call them past clients, then now we've made it out successful. But these things that are available to you include a private role play and you also getting live audits to hold your team accountable. So that may be something that they're doing on a one-on-one basis, but the results of doing it as a team does kind of put the fire where it needs to be so people are more motivated to get it done.
Well, that's great. And I mean, I think it's good to say to like what you do for everybody in DCM and like what you've been started to do for Easy Home Search.
I can't do it without you, Trav. This is very much a dynamic duo
well, I
sort of
appreciate
situation.
That. But no, I mean, I do think a lot of the times I like to bring you in when it's like, I mean, I can only do so much stuff in the database, but when it really comes down for their ROI, like you really need their agents to convert at a higher level. You know what I mean? And that's something that you really focus on. But I want to go back and go back and back and back. How did you get here?
Because of Travis Halverson.
Oh my God. Okay, but how did you meet me?
I started as a real estate assistant to a broker. I was doing his marketing, helping write contracts on his behalf, and doing some of the lead generation. But I was spread thin. So I cold called the top 10 real estate teams in that city. I was living in San Antonio at the time. And I said, these are my skills. Do you think that anybody would benefit from that in your office? And would y'all be open to talking with me? 3 of them offered interviews and all 3 of them offered me a position. And from there, I became an inside sales agent, and I exclusively did lead generation. I was at a KW event that was in Austin. And at that time, I started to see faces that were familiar. And so I was just excited to be around so many talented people. And then one person introduced me to you in a Zoom and said, hey, come to this meeting. All of the best ISAs in the country are going to it. And I think that you'll get something out of it. And you were the host. And so from there, it became a net, and it was like a domino effect. Getting to know you and getting to know other people who were incredibly talented opened up more doors over and over again. And I would not be here without that.
Nice. I mean, I think that's kind of funny because Victor said the same thing about something similar to that. And he was just like, I remember meeting with you. And he's like, I never told you this. He's like, I remember meeting with you and saying like, man, one day I'm going to work with Travis. He's like, one day I'm going to work. I don't know where it will be, how it will be, but one day I will end up being in business with him and blah, blah, blah. And he goes, I said the same thing about Nikki when I saw Nikki on that Zoom call. He's like, I saw Nikki, and he's like, man, I gotta get connected to her. She is great. She is amazing. And like, no, it's always stuck with me, like with how you were on that Zoom call and like in that mastermind that we did. I mean, we had like 70 ISAs on that thing at one point, but like, it was great to see like how you carried yourself and like the things that you would talk about. It was like, wow, that's such a skill. Cause I mean, like everybody talks about how good you can be on a phone call, but like when that's just how you naturally speak to people, like it's just different. You know what I mean?
But the thing is, Trev, you already in that part of my life were somebody to respect and look up to, because the number of appointments that you were setting was not what I was accomplishing. And you were the person who taught me there is a way for an ISA to stop being effective and accidentally gatekeep because they're trying to get it right and make sure they only set the highest quality appointments. But we don't exclusively need to send out silver platter opportunities. We should be sending out what is an at bat, because the ISA should be able to find who is available, but never be the barrier that prevents them from getting with an agent. The agent should have the skills and be equipped to actually move and push the needle further than what the ISA could have done. And so after meeting with you, my number of appointments per week started to go up, and I went up in transactions.
See, that's the funny part, and it's crazy to think about, and it speaks to a lot of the ISAs that we talk to and see now. I mean, a lot of CEOs really want their ISAs to set these golden opportunities, these really silver platter, like everything's given to them, and then you go in and look at what happens with those opportunities. I mean, we went through that database the other day, and it was just like, oh, signed with another agent, signed with another agent, signed with another agent. I'm like, so these are all the golden opportunities that take them 30 plus minutes to set these appointments, and these are all still signing with other agents. Like that is terrible. Like, what are the other opportunities? The ones that are just at bats or opportunities like, hey, this person's interested in selling, or this person's interested in doing this. Like, why don't we send those over to that person? Because like, I would imagine that the transactions would go up and the number of opportunities would go up, but like, I don't think like it would be that big of a difference for them. I think you would just open up your world to more opportunity. Like,
it's true. And we still encourage, as best practice, an agent should not have more than 75 to 125 leads in their name. There's a common misconception that the more leads that I have, the more that I'm going to close, but it's not true. You will be spread thin. And if you're spread thin instead, you end up missing opportunities. And that's where you get in a place again of, this closed with somebody else. I don't know how that happened, but we didn't do a quality job of following up with the leads that we had. The number one agent in every single team has one thing in common, and it's number of attempts per lead. So nothing is going to beat the work. People believe that top agents have more skills, but it's not true. The truth is that they outwork everybody.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I think we see it as like real estate's like that one of those weird industries that you could just be very consistent with someone and consistently follow up with them. And like the more that you're in front of them, like the more annoying you are to them, almost to like the degree of like being weird, the more opportunities you're going to get and the more money you'll make. Like, you know what I mean? Consistency means like more money in your pocket realistically. So it's like a lot of the times we try and tell agents this, but I don't think it really resonates with a lot of them. I don't know why. It's just something that we see all the time. But I mean, as an ISA, from the ISA standard, it's like, yo, just increase the number of opportunities you're doing by just doing the number of attempts you're doing. Like increase everything that you're doing. And a lot of the times they're always just like, well, I want to be paid more. I'm like, well, set more appointments. You know
if you want to be paid more, then do more touches per lead. If
Exactly.
we're perfectly honest, it's going to result in better results. And so the thing that Travis taught me is the 3-touch rule, which is you send an email while it's calling, and then you pull up the template that you're going to send if they do not call. Now you are set up for 3 touches in 30 seconds. Whether that person hangs up, whether the person says that it's a wrong number, regardless of the result of the call, they still get a follow-up message. But now you are also opening all avenues and ensuring that you follow up with them in the way that they prefer.
God, that's great. I love that. I love that. Well, this is awesome. And I mean, I really appreciate you being here. It's great to ask you all these things and get to know you a little bit more, just because I know there's a lot of people. Me and Preston talk about you all the time on here. So is there anything that you would like to tell people, the people that are listening that haven't had a chance to meet with you? How do they get to meet you?
I mean, you could email me or direct message me on Facebook at any time. But ultimately, I love what we do. And so I would not rather be doing anything besides talking and collaborating to figure out another thing that we could do to improve our business. I believe genuinely that each of us work really hard because we have personal things that matter to us. And so when I think about increasing a pipeline, I think about what that opens up for us in our lives. That looks like vacations with family and spending more time with loved ones. But I heard before that if you love what you do, you stop looking at the clock and you just start to work like you love it. And I'm really in a position now where it feels like that. I don't care about the hours. I just care about the output. And so I would love the chance to figure out what the gaps are in your particular business and figure out where we could plug in, because we will.
For sure. I could not agree more. She's right. If you guys love her, please reach out to her. If you guys want to work with her in your business, please join DCM or Easy Home Search. So anybody that has any questions for us, please let us know. Go to digitalmaverick.com or easyhomesearch.com and let us know. Other than that, find us everywhere else.
And then you'll see Trav and I on a regular basis.
Woo! Which is awesome for anybody. Bye.
Bye.